أما بعد. Then we're back with the brother Abdullah going over the Arabic alphabet, and we have reached lesson 6 and 7. And we did a review last time, so we don't need to go over that. But we did the review of lesson 5 and went over the answers for the most part. So we'll just start here with lesson 6. Assalamu alaikum, Abdullah. How you doing?
Walaikum salam. I'm doing good.
Alhamdulillah. طيب, I think last time we went over lesson 6 and we had to, that's what we did. We went over lesson 6 and we had a little homework here, I think. I think these were our lines of homework. So let's read line number 2.
Yadi, or line number 2. Waladi.
Waladi. Excellent.
Darasa.
Darrasa, exactly.
Darsun.
Darsun.
Darsin.
Darsin. Dars means lesson. So like at the top here where it says 6th lesson, this would be 6th dars. Okay. Dars. Oh, the next one here. Alhamdulillah.
Darsan.
Darsan. Yep.
Yurisun.
Huh?
Yurarisan. Sun.
Yudarrisu. Yudarrisu. Right? Yudarrisu. If we were to write it out, we would say Yudarrisu. Yudarrisu. Excellent. Jazakallah khairan. Okay, our next letter was the Dal, and we had 2 lines. Let's read number 6. Let's just read number 6.
Zadahu.
Here's our line. Remember what goes below the line.
Zarahu.
Zarahu. Yep.
The.
Yep.
Zurta.
Exactly.
Is that a? Okay. Rataba.
Yep. Rataba. Exactly. You said it right. And the last one?
Tartibun.
Tartib means order, right? Order. So like right now, we're not learning the alphabet in its tartib, in its order. We're learning them in a different tartib, in a different order, right? The tartib he chose here was so that we could learn certain letters and then get certain vocabulary words out of it, right? But we're not learning it in. For instance, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. How many words can you make out of those 6 letters? A, B, C, D, E, F, or 7 letters. How many?
Not too many.
Right. But if I say M, A, S, T, L, R, now you can start to make more letters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More words. Mast, Tam, Sam. You could do it. So this is what he did. So tartib means order. Okay. Let's read line 7.
Firashen.
Firashun. Naam.
Furnun.
Fornun.
Farra.
Farra. Excellent.
Fahumta.
Fa.
Himta. Fahimta.
Fahimta. Fahimta. Fahima. Fahima means to understand. Fahimta means you understood. And as I said before, you can use this. You can just use your voice, the inflection in your voice, to make it a question. Just like I could say, you understood, and make it a sentence, or I could say, you understood. And with raising my voice, I made it a question. So, same thing. Fahimta, you understood. You
Fahimta.
could say that to someone. You could say that. And then if you wanted to, this is in the future, we'll learn this. We're not learning it right now, but you could put a dhamma here, and it would mean I understood. So if I said to you, Fahimta, did you understand? You could say Fahimtu, I understood.
It's an object or a subject or whatever, right? Something like that.
Well, this last thing here, this ta here for us for right now, for our purposes right now, just explaining it briefly, it's like the subject of the verb. Who is doing the verb? Right? Who is doing it? So fahimta is you understood. Fahimtu is I understood. But we'll get there, inshallah. You don't have to worry about that. I just told you in case you want to learn something a little extra, inshallah.
I read a little bit about that.
Alhamdulillah. Next word.
Fihi.
Fihi. And last one on the line.
Safirun.
Safir. Naam.
Oh,
Safir. Safir is the ambassador. Right? The Safir is the emissary or the ambassador. Tayyib. All of them are words, but I'm just telling you ones here and there because they're going to give us their own vocabulary words that they want us to have, right?
yeah.
The next are the last 2 lines in that lesson dealing with the Hamza. Let's read line number 9.
Asara.
Asara.
Asirun.
Asirun. Make it long because of the ya. Asirun. No
Asirun.
problem.
Aslam. Aslama.
Aslama. Aslama means he accepted. Or he accepted Islam. Aslama, he accepted Islam. He submitted, right?
Aslama. Was that over the Yao? Is it you?
You. You. Then we have a Hamza over the wow.
Okay, you wakidu.
Yuakidu. Exactly. Yuakidu. Yuakidu. Remember this wow now, when I put that Hamza on it, is just holding the Hamza. It's not making its own sound, but it is just holding the Hamza, and the Hamza is going to be a sound, right? Yuakidu. Right? Yuakidu. And then we have the next word.
Tabda'a.
Tabda. It should be tabda. I tried to make it, but I probably made it worse.
Tabda'u.
Tabda'u. Exactly.
Sa sa Sa'irun. Sa'irun.
Just say sa'i because this
Sa'irun.
hamza doesn't necessarily have a sound. Yeah, sa'irun. Whatever verb or whatever vowel you put on it, that's going to be its sound. Sa'irun.
I think it's just throwing me off
Sa'irun.
the aleph at the end with the fata above it, but that's probably just
Yeah.
a marking.
That aleph goes with that, and then this is your ya, but without the dots. When I put the hamza on it, I don't have to put my dots on the ya because it's just holding the hamza. So this first part here is sa, sa, and then we have after sa,
Irun. Sa'irun.
irun. Yeah, sa, irun. Excellent. Did excellent, man. Excellent. Okay, this next lesson, lesson number 7. They're giving us vocabulary words, 10 of them. We can't do this. It says read and translate, but we can't do that until we get the vocabulary words, which you have to scroll down. I don't know why they did that, why they did it afterwards. They should have put them before. But, or maybe they just wanted you to practice reading. Maybe in the classroom setting, we would read them first or something and then go over the vocabulary. No problem. But anyway, we have 10 new words. We have ab. Ab or abun means father. Abun. Ummun, mother. Ummun. Babun. Remember that dumb thing there. Babun. Door or gate. Shubak. Shubak. Shubakun, window. Deacon, rooster. Deacon, rooster. And this is just the translation of the word. The word is Anna. And we do not pronounce this aleph here as being long. We don't say Anna. We just say Anna as if this aleph wasn't there. That's just how it was written and is not pronounced as a long vowel. Anna. No, just Anna. And then we have, that means I. So I could take Anna and the word for fat. You remember the word for fat?
Saminun.
Samin. Yeah, I could say Anna Saminun. Anna Samin. We don't talk about ourselves in a negative way. Even if we are fat, we don't talk about ourselves like that. But I could say that, right? Anna Kabirun. Anna Saminun. Right? The next one is enta. Enta means you to a male. Singular. One singular male.
So it is you females is auntie.
And T for a female. Yes. Excellent. And the next word is hua, which is he. And feel, which is elephant. Elephant. And then daftar. Daftaron. Daftaron is a notebook. Here it says writing book, copy book. Those are like old words they used to use. A teacher might ask you in the 50s or 60s, where's your copybook? Because you used to copy what was on the board, right? Your notebook. Today we say notebook. Okay, we say, for instance, these examples here, huwa samin, anta samin, ana samin. I don't like those. We shouldn't learn to talk about people. You know what I mean? A lot of times, the first words people learn in language are curse words. You know, they learn the bad words and, because it's funny or whatever. That's not something we should do. We should learn how to talk about people, So I don't like these examples. Unless you're talking about a cow, that cow is Samin, or that dog is Samin, or that rooster is Samin. That's fine. That's different, but not as people, right? Okay. It gives us two things here. And we're going to go over lesson 8 real quick, too. Just after this, we'll go over lesson 8 just because it's too easy, inshallah. So lesson 6 was answering or going over the homework a little bit. And then here, lesson 7 is learning these words. Again, we'll read them real quick, and then we'll just read 2 sentences from above. Ab is father. Is mother. Bab is door or gate. Shabak, window. Deek, rooster. Ana, I. Enta, you, to a male singular. Enti, to a female. Hua, for a male. He, not for a male, but yeah, for a male. He. Feel is an elephant. And daftar is a notebook. Inshallah, those 10 words, ab and and enta and hua and ana, you're going to use those 5 a lot. Feel, you can find in the Quran. Deek, you can find in hadith. Shabak, you know, if you're talking to your kids and you want them to learn Arabic, you can say to them, open the shabak, open the bab, you know, and you can get them picking up on a little vocabulary as well. You know, you can tell them, go get your daftar, you know, go get your daftar so we can go over these letters. One of the best ways for you and anyone else who is following any of these classes or any of my classes is to teach. The best way for you to learn and solidify what you learn is to teach. So if you, Abdullah, were to take these lessons and start teaching your kids ba, ta, tha, and noon, and the fatha, the kasra, the dhamma, the sukoon, you know what I mean? And start teaching them how to read. You teaching them is going to solidify your knowledge. So if you're able to, go get your daftar, right? Go get your daftar. Open the door. Open the bab. You know, close the shabak. It's getting cold outside. Stuff like this, right?
Is all this vocabulary we've been going over in the different dialects as well, or is this just like all MSA or classical?
This is MSA or classical, but I mean, there may be a word. The dialects will understand these, but they may not. They may have another word for it. Just like, you know, if I go somewhere where the word pop means soda, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they'll understand the word soda even though they use the word pop. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you go to a restaurant up in Chicago and they say, would you like a pop with that burger and fries or something? Would you like a pop with that? And that's what they say. Maybe the waitress will say, would you like a pop with that? But if you were to beat her to the punch and say, I'd also like a soda, or what kind of sodas do you have, or what kind of flavors of soda do you have, or so, she's going to understand that perfectly. She's not, oh, what's a soda? I don't know what that is, you know?
So is it MSA or classical?
They're the same. MSA and classical are pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same. I don't know of any real difference. You know, for example, if you go somewhere where they say soda and you ask for a pop, maybe they don't know what you're talking about. Right? What's a pop? You know? But if you go where they say pop, they'll know what the word soda means. So what I'm saying is everyone will understand the MSA. We'll just call it MSA for now because it's easier to write than classical, right? Everyone will understand MSA, but that doesn't mean someone with MSA will understand everybody else. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you go to Egypt, they'll understand MSA. You go to Jordan, you go to Saudi, you go to Kuwait, you go to Qatar, you go to Sudan, all of them, they're going to understand the MSA. But if you understand MSA, that doesn't mean you're going to understand Jordan and Saudi and Egypt and Sudan and Kuwait and like this. But you will understand the Quran. You will understand the Quran and the Hadith, which is the most important part. right?
Right.
And eventually you will find that the dialects are based upon the MSA, not MSA, because MSA is the newer term, but they're based upon the classical Arabic, right? That the dialects, like I said, some people say soda, some people say sodi, some people say pop, some people say Coke, even they mean Sprite. I'd like can I get you a Coke? Yes. What kind? I said Coke. No, we have
That's
Sprite, we
right.
have Mountain Dew. And so all of them are Coke to somebody. The same thing goes with Arabic. You might go somewhere and we have the verb raja'a to return, aba to return, uh, yasiru can kind of mean to return, auda can be return, aji meaning to come, but used to like to return, and so all of these different words. Maybe Jordan uses this one. Maybe Syria uses this one. Maybe Egypt uses this one. But they're all based in the original classical Arabic. You got it?
Yep.
So the more classical Arabic you learn, the more dialects you'll understand.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's go over our words again. The 10 of them. Ab is father. Is mother. Bab is door or gate. Shabak is window. Deek is rooster. Anna is I. Anta is you to a singular male. Hua is he. Feel is elephant. And daftar is notebook. So let's go over. Let's just read line 1 and 2. Right? These two right here. Let's just read them and know that this one bleeds over into the second line, right? Go ahead and read them and translate.
Li abun wa uman wa lahu abun wa uman. I have a father and he has a mother. Or I have a father.
Li abun.
I have a father and a mother, and he has a father and a mother.
Exactly. Excellent. Second one.
Babun kabirun wa shubakun kabirun. A big door or big window or no big door.
You said it right first.
Yeah, big door and big window.
Yeah, a big door and a big window. This un sound at the end, whether it be an, un, or in, just basically means It implies indefiniteness. So you could say a big door and a big window, right? A big door and a big window. We'll get to definiteness shortly, inshallah. How do I say the door? We'll get there, inshallah, soon enough. Right now, if it's not the door, it's a door, right? In English, if it's not the door, it's a door. So we have those 12 sentences, basically, that we want to read and translate. And that's homework, those 12 sentences, or at least now 2 through 12. And then here we have 10 sentences from English they want us to translate into Arabic. So let's try 1 and 2, inshallah.
Abun kabirun wa shabakan kabirun.
Now, babun kabirun wa shabakun kabirun. The answer for number 1 is number 2 above.
Yeah.
The one we just read. No problem. Excellent. That's how it works. Number 2, thou, meaning you, female singular. You, female singular.
Laki, Filun, Saminun, Wa Lana,
Saminun.
Saminun, Wa Lana, Thaurun, Kabirun, Saminun.
Okay. Lucky, you have filun saminun, a fat elephant. Walena, and we have
Thaurun,
thawrun kabirun
Kabirun.
wasaminun,
Fat.
big fat ox.
Kabirun, Saminun.
No, you would say what? Kabirun
Wa.
wasaminun. No problem. Excellent. You did good job. Then you just got to do 3 through 10 as homework. Now, normally after review and picking up 10 words, but those 10 words are going to be super easy on you. Super easy. Ab, enta, ana, hua. Those 5 are super easy. Then bab and shubak, door and window, and daftar, notebook. What else did we have? Deek and feel. Maybe those 2 are a little bit more difficult. Maybe. But not really. Right? Daftar. You should have a daftar on your desk right now as we're doing class. You know? So let's just write daftar on the top of it. And every time you pick it up, say daftar. You know, one thing that I've seen people do and has been beneficial is to take sticky pads and write these words wherever you see it. So take and write bab on and then stick it on different doors in your house, and shubak and stick it on different windows. And every time you see it, say it, you know.
Repetition.
I don't know how you would do it. Yeah, repetition. And not just translating, you know, bab door, bab door, bab door, bab door, but actually seeing a door, seeing a window, you know, seeing an elephant, you know, where it becomes imagery, not just repetition of sound, even though that helps. Okay,
Yeah,
this 8th lesson.
So I don't think my rooster would like a sticky note on him. Yeah.
I mean, well, we'll stuff him. We'll kill him.
Yeah.
We'll cut his head off and stuff him, and then we'll put the sticky note on it. Okay, this next lesson, even though we would normally stop after that one, since you got some words and some homework, this next lesson is super easy. You don't need any of this real notes right here because we're going to explain it all right here. I'm going to write on the sides here our previous chart that we had for I have. So we said for I have, we said li. For you have, we said laka. To a masculine male, to singular. For you have to a female, lucky. What was he has?
Lahu.
Lahu. She has?
Laha.
Laha. We have?
Lana.
You plural males have?
Lakum.
Huh?
Lakum.
Lakum. Yep.
Lakuna.
Lakunna. That's you to a group of females.
Lahum.
Lahum, they for males.
Lahuna.
And they for females. Lahunna. Okay, if you notice on our chart, the endings of all of these words are the same. Li, kelbi, e, kelbuka, laka, laki, kelbuki, lahu, kelbuhu. This who, ki, ka, ha, na, kum, kunna, hum, hunna, they're all the same. The lamb for us in our previous chart meant to have, right? To have, to possess. Here, we're putting it on a noun. We're taking these endings and we're putting them on a noun. And by doing so, it becomes possessive. So we say kelb is dog. I can say kelbi, my dog. How your dog to a male, kelbu ka. To a
Kalbuki.
female, kelbu ki. To a male, a third person,
Kalbuhu.
kelbuhu. To a
Kalbuha.
female third person,
Kalbuha.
kelbuha. Our dog,
Kalbu.
kelbuna.
Kalbukum.
Kelbukum.
Kalbukuna.
Yes,
Kalbuhum. Kalbuhuna.
exactly. That's our chart. If you remember the first chart, this chart is going to be super easy. You just take that same ending on the end of the la and you put it on the end of a noun. And we can do that for so many. So, for example, we did it on kelb. They want us to do as homework, they want us to do the same thing on kitab and on bait, right? So I say my house, baiti. Your house,
Beituka. Beituki.
baituki,
Beituha.
baituhu, baituha, baituna. And then they
Beitu.
want you to do that for Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Finish. Go ahead. Finish. Go ahead. Beitu, baituna. Then go ahead. Can continue.
Beitukum. Beitukuna. Beituhum. Beituhuna.
Exactly. Then do it with kitab. Then do it with daftar. Do it with bustan. Do it with karm. Do it with thawr. Do it with bab. Do it with feel. Do it with deek. Right? Do it with deek. Even though it doesn't say it here, I'm just telling you for practice. You can do it. If you remember, I told you the word yed. I wrote that bad, but yed means hand. Right? Yedun, hand. I could do yedi, my hand. Yeduka, yeduki, yeduhu, yeduha, yeduna, yedukum, yedukunna, yedu hum, yeduhunna. Any of our nouns that we have. Right? I told you the word tartib means order. Right? Maybe I have a certain order. For me, is my order, the way I like stuff. Put it in my order. Tartibi. I'm gonna put it in your order. Tartibuka, tartibuki, tartibuha, tartibuhu, tartibuha, tartibuna. You could do it with any noun. Any noun. So right now we had daftar, we had feel, feely. I don't my elephant, filuka, right? Your elephant, filuki, your elephant to a female. Shubak. You could do it with any of the nouns that we've had so far. Ummi, Abi, Ummuka, Ummuki, Ummuhu, Ummuha, Ummuna, Ummukum, Ummukunna, Ummuhum, Ummuhunna, Abi, Abuka. Well, that's a little different. Don't do ab for now. If you do, we'll have to change some things around just because that's a different word. Like we talked about offline one day. Do we have to add a wow? Right? That's because of the word ab having some different rulings. So don't do ab for now. But any of the nouns that we had, Thor, my ox, your ox, you could do it with any of the nouns that we've had so far. Any of them. All right?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, so whenever you're ready for lesson 9, and lesson 9 is just more vocabulary. Lesson 9 is just 10 more vocabulary words. Right? 10 more vocabulary words in lesson 9, inshallah.
Sounds good.
So, and then lesson 10 will be more letters. I think you said offline that we had like 19 letters. So we're almost there. But we still have some more lessons. I think up until lesson 21, we won't have any we won't have all the alphabets until lesson 21. 21 gives us all the alphabets in practice.
Right.
So you let me know when you're ready for lesson 9 and we'll start there. I don't think it'll be long because you already had it just in this short time. You were already conjugating and making these my book, your book, his book, her book, our book, not, like this, you're already doing it. So if you just do this and memorize those 10 words from lesson 7, we'll be cruising.
Sounds good.
All right, brother. Jazakallah khairan. Let me know when you're ready and we'll be here for you.
I appreciate you. Assalamu alaikum, and talk to you soon.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.